Hello everyone. As we meet together in late March, it's my pleasure to talk about the exciting real estate year that we've had so far. Each of you know better than I, the activity is really incredible, and the sales are going to hit all-time peak for March as we continue through the last couple of days of this month with just tremendous sales activity. I'm hearing stories that relate so well to this great market that we're in, and we hopefully everybody is adjusting to a new market condition that we've seen the last 60 or 90 days. That we were slowly gaining momentum last quarter of last year, but clearly has picked up, and we're in a truly new market, a market that many of the folks in our company have not worked in before, and that is a true seller's market. We're adjusting to a seller's market. I want to give a little example about Carol Ferguson and Kelly Riley. Had a listing last fall of 2010 exactly. They had it for 4 months in the fall of 2010 and the first 3 months of 2011. It was a house in Treesdale, a very desirable neighborhood, $725,000 asking price, very little activity, a showing a week, no offers. Well, Carol took our advice, and we said earlier this month to get back to former clients, people that didn't sell their house last year or the year before, and see if they're still interested in selling. And of course, people that were motivated a year or two ago to have their house in the market and it didn't sell are still motivated. There's still motivation there of why they wanted to sell 2 years ago and why they want to buy or sell today. So Carol called those folks, put the house on the market 2.5 weeks ago. At $739,000, not the $725 asking price that it wouldn't sell for 15 months ago. Put it on the market, and lo and behold, 5 days later, weekend before last, there was a bidding battle on the home, and it sold for $739,900. Okay, so it sold for almost $15,000 more than the asking price was a year ago. 15 months ago, and we had a bidding battle for it. That is the kind of real estate market that we're seeing. We're also seeing a market that those of you who are adjusting can't wait for just to see things in the model list or online. There's a great story in the Cleveland Plain Dealer this morning that talked about today's market and the use of the internet and activity. It talked about a buyer looking in Cleveland City that was totally looking online until they met Mark Letitian, because they thought they could find the house. They thought they could find the house online and didn't need the use of a realtor really. Well, Mark sold them a house last week, a house that had not been on the market, that was listed by Shaker Heights office, and Myra White knew that Mark had buyers in that price range in that location and mentioned it to Mark before it went into the model list. They got on the hot list. And lo and behold, Mark called this client and sold them the house that same day. I'm just hearing stories like that day in and day out. The importance of controlling the listing, and we get the listing, go to your buyers. Don't run it off, just put it in the model list rate. Go to your existing buyers. Go to your fellow Howard Hanna realtors and let them know about the property. But we've got to make sure that we're maximizing the listing opportunities. Now is the time that listings truly control your destiny. You control listings, you control all the buyer flow, you control the sales flow, and you control all the activity that happens. As we talked about at the rallies, if you can each get back to sellers that you sold houses to, that have not bought houses between 1998 and 2004, and tell them a story about today's market and why they should think about moving up and why they should sell their house and get a great premium for their house possibly. And the second thing is getting back to people that had their house on the market 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like Carol Ferguson and Kelly had, and get back to those folks with real stories, what's happening. And the third thing is, when you do sell a house today, when you put a house under agreement today, or when the mortgage contingency clears, call the 5 people on each side and the 10 people across the street and tell them you just sold the Donahue house on Oak Lane, and tell them that you got other buyers. Would they have any interest of selling their house, or do they know anybody in Oak Manor who would be interested in selling? Because who have any semblance of idea about selling, because this is truly the time to get your house on the market. So the third is go and look up Craigslist. Go on Craigslist. Go in the Plain Dealer, in the Post Gazette, and Harrisburg Patriot, and look at the for sale by owners ads. Those for sale by owners ads are looking for you to come out, take a look at the house, list the house, bring it back to your office, bring it back to your other comrades in the office and Howard Hanna offices, and sell it. Because those Craigslist are just dying for you to sell their houses for them, and for sale by owners. So just a great market. I went to a half a dozen open houses yesterday. I was incredible with the kind of people that were open houses. One agent had 9 people during the 2 hours that she was open. As I was there right at 4 o'clock. As I was leaving, lo and behold, somebody came to the front door and somebody came to the back door at 5 after 4. So a total of 11 different groups came. So it's just tremendous activity everywhere we're seeing. And so you just I can't tell you enough to get back to your former buyers, get back to sellers who had their houses listed a couple of years ago. There's gold in those folks when you list those properties. Have a great rest of the week. I know it's going to be a very busy day and busy week for most of you the rest of this week as we have closings. We're going to be with the Pennsylvania Miami group starting tomorrow. It seems like all we do is travel around here. And then next week we'll be with the Ohio Miami crowd. So it's looking forward to, at least for some of us, a tough week of Miami Beach for a week. So enjoy the great weather. Enjoy the market that we haven't. I say most of us have not seen the kind of market that we're living in right now. So let's take advantage of it in the spring of 2012. Have a great time.